Hello, everyone. Welcome into Flying with Mike. Glad to have you aboard. We're going to be doing a little bit of FedExing this week. Got a couple days where we're going to FedEx from down here in Bogotá back up towards the U.S. with FedEx. Of course, why else would we be FedExing with someone else? Okay, Atlas, that could come into play. Yeah, I've got you there. All right, so again, welcome in. This is Flying with Mike. I want to thank you for taking some time on your Monday here in the States. It's a government holiday, however, not a private sector holiday. So those that work for the government and the states and all of that, yeah, you get another day off. However, from here until May, you're going to be skimping for days off. So anyway, unless, of course, Mother Nature puts that white stuff on the ground that some of you just outright hate, but find you're not at work or not sure what you're doing at work. But anyway, so we're sitting here, Bogotá, Colombia, hoping you all are ready to go. Love for some people to come up. I don't care if you fly FedEx, Anzul, TAM, Latam, whatever. Just, hey, grab a plane. We're headed to Costa Rica. I've talked about this airport a couple times with one of the trickier approaches. Now, right now, it doesn't look all that tricky. Looks like we'll be able to use the ILS. However, forecasts may swing it as we get there to 2.5. Who knows? And of course, if a controller is there, they may just want to put you on the 2.5 anyway. And that's a nice little it's actually not a bad RNAV as long as you're not in the weather. If you're in the weather, it gets kind of, you really, anytime you're in the weather, you got to really mind your P's and Q's. But when you're visual, it makes it a lot easier. So let's get up in this beast and see what kind of trouble we can cause. This is the Rotate MD-11, and again, service from Bogotá, Colombia to San Jose, Santa Rica, Costa Rica. Ooh, had a couple of different airports and countries in mind there, didn't I? Oh my goodness, I need another cup of coffee. All right. So we are in the new release candidate. Now, we don't know if that's going to be the end of 1.4 or if there's more to come and they're just putting a release candidate out now. Who knows? Hey, well, X-Plane knows, we, the customers, do not. So we get to sit back and go, well, when are they going to put this in and that in? And so that's the whole idea, I think. Kind of run that buzzbait across the water and kind of get you to bite. So, all right. We had a great flight yesterday out of Reunion Island over to Port Elizabeth. And today we hope to do the same from Bogotá to San Jose. Got it right this time. All right, now let's get some toolkit in here and get this going. Oh, by the way, we are on VATSIM right now, so feel free to join us. We'd love to have you. But yeah, we're lined up for San Jose out here right now, runway 7. Again, the terminal forecasts are calling for the possibility of a wind shift, which would then bring us in the other way. So we'll kind of watch as we go. But I do highly recommend this as an airport people visit. Try out, you know, even if you shoot the lazy ILS like we're planning today, great, it's fun. It's something new, beautiful scenery down there. Just love going in there. And by chance, if you do get lucky and have to fly the RNAV, enjoy it. It is fun. Just like the RNAVs to the reverse of how we're getting out of here, the 3.2s. are here in Bogotá. All right. So, as mentioned, we are taking off. We're not 1-4 left. We're going to do 1-4 right. That's a lot closer to where we're parked. We are going to do the Tobique 1 Sierra departure, VASIL transition out to URODU UL 423 to ISEBA to the Kari for India arrival. So we'll see how all of this plays out. Now, yes, that's where it gets tricky because, yes, it is saying 2-5. Kind of curious how that looks if we land on 7 and it marks us. That'll be interesting. I don't think I've ever had that on the landing performance, on the landing review. Well, that could be interesting. We'll see. Okay, today's payload, we got 106,395 pounds of cargo leaving Bogotá for there. No passengers, and we've got a block fuel of 44,000, call it 300. We're just 2 pounds shy. You saw the route, and cost index today is 90. 36,000 for the flight level. Weather here in Bogotá actually does not look all that bad. Although chilly. Well, actually, that isn't real chilly. 66. I saw 19 degrees, and like anyone here in the U.S. immediately thought, woo, that is chilly. But no, it's actually 66 degrees there. Many of us here in the States are going, oh, what I'd like to do to just have half that. So, yeah, it's cold. Big cold outbreak going on this week. Much of the country again. Don't know if it's going to go as far south as that one in January, but it's going to get cold. Winds here are out of the northeast, 050 at 6. You can see the swing there. It could have gone where we took off on 32, which is right behind us. But it isn't, so nothing significant. Beautiful day, 2,000 foot above the ground, clouds, which always play interesting here at Bogotá. I really would love to talk directly to a developer of a flight sim, because with FSX, that right there would have put us marginal, because the clouds are actually under the runway. It's like they read them MSL instead of AGL. I don't know. It's always bizarre here. And you'll see what I mean here in a second. Costa Rica, we have east wind, 14 gusts to 24. So, gonna be a little breezy. A few clouds at 4,500 to pester us, and we'll come through broken layer at 20,000. Here it's 78 degrees, almost 79. So wow, welcome to the tropics. Beautiful day in store. And again, we are online. There's the route. Let's get rid of this and let's talk about the airplane here for a second. And we're ready to go. So I hope you all are. I took the time to get it all ready to go. Now, I know some of you are going, well, I would have liked to have seen how this all works. There is a checklist out there with the tutorial flight. What I recommend when you get this plane, 2 things. First off, understand there's a lot more Airbus in this than McDonnell Douglas. So once you get over that hump, it really becomes kind of easy to figure out the office. You still got to figure out the flight dynamics. Yeah, that's, you got to do that everywhere. But if you take a look up here, I affectionately call this, to help people out, an Airbus 11. And I know Airbus likes to smack me upside the head. That's fine. I can take it. But you really look at this, and there are so many similarities with an Airbus cockpit. And don't get me wrong, and of course a McDonnell Douglas one. I mean, this is broken down very similar to an Airbus, Maybe not in the same places, although I haven't checked it up against an A300. But you can see the way they block it up top here. I always find this kind of a little bit overkill what they did here, but hey, whatever it takes to get the job done when they're on fire. Get it, got it, understand it. But you see the uniqueness. If you start thinking, okay, I'm in an Airbus, okay, this becomes a lot easier. Now, where it really comes into being an Airbus, look at these McDo's. I mean FMS's. Other than this button right here, takeoff approach, that's a McDonnell Douglas thing. That's an Airbus McDo. One other thing I noticed missing today, because I actually ran into something that I was trying to do that I would do in an Airbus that wasn't here. Does anyone else see it? It is kind of tricky, at least it was for me, till I figured out the switch isn't there. Airbus guys, you might notice it real quick. Okay, I gave enough time. Look at the arrows. What arrow is missing? You got up, down. You got a page right. Wait a minute, where's the page left? Ow. One of these days, I'm actually going to break down, try and find a good cockpit view of this area, just to see if that really is missing. The other way arrow is not there. I found that kind of interesting in pre-flight today. All right, so basically, have you all really noticed this is, I mean, you go through here, you would click, this would be your arrival, end point would be your departure. You click on it, you click departure, you click your runway, your SID. Down at the bottom one, you click your arrival, your approach, your star. I mean, that's all Airbus. Just the whole formatting and everything. Where it's different is right on this page we're on right now. Takeoff, approach. We'll talk more about flaps. That's the other difference. At least Airbus didn't head down. That might have been what caused McDonnell Douglas to go down. Nah, just kidding. No, I don't think so. But you'll see what I mean. It's a good laugh. To me, at least. Whether you get it or not. I've actually heard on a couple of other people's streams, people saying the same thing. And the streamers either ignoring or too busy not picking up on it, because it is kind of an interesting way to look at it that McDonnell Douglas did. So, but anyway, like I said, you're looking at an Airbus. You even have to pull up the spoilers to arm. Now, you do that on a lot of planes, but you have to here or you don't arm them. The Boeing 737, you kind of pull back into a notch. Same with the 747, am I right? I'm trying to think. Yes, I think you do. The 767, flight factor just makes you touch it. But, so there are a lot of similarities. And it irks some people. It does. But it is so true, though. It is more Airbus than what you would expect in a MD Mad Dog. And yes, this could be considered a Mad Dog. I've had people tell me it's not a Mad Dog, it's not an MD-80, but it's an MD-11. It's a Mad Dog. So, they just want to play with their little ferocious doggies, I know. Anyway, we're off and going, shall we? We're going to take the Airbus Mad Dog 11 out today. All right, so basically the biggest trick to the rotate version of this, X-plane version, and I don't understand it, and really nobody's ever really explained it to me. I think it's something the developers, I don't think the real plane did this. If it did, wow. What an interesting way to load a plane. So when you're loading, you're going to first come in. Here's what I do. I'm just going to go through it real quick, getting some more people on board here, hopefully. Now you have this way to set this up, and you also have the EFB. Either way does the same thing. I'm just doing this here. It's easier. Okay, so you'll come in. I always click parked with external power on. You're only skipping at the most 3 or 4 steps. At the most. So I just go. Then you're going to come over and make sure your ground power unit's on. Chocks will be set, and make sure, well, then you're going to request the stairs, and they're going to come up to door 1L, and you're going to open 1L. Now, what is that? I'll show you here in a second. I keep the main cargo door down, meaning open. You're going to see the button saying open. You'll see here in a second why. The cargo forward, cargo center, cargo aft, I open. Those are your lower level belly load cargoes, okay? And then if it's at night and you want to see in, you can play with the lights down here, however you see fit. Why I leave this down is I can, okay, once you have all of this set up, you're cleared to come back and click load. Before you run over there, set your payload however you want. I run with virtual FedEx Express Virtual. So, you know, they have a great little thing on their website that when you book the flight, it tells you a payload. I stick it in, see how close to the 0 fuel weight sim brief comes up with, and equal, as close as I can. Okay, that's how we do that. Then we come down, throw in our block fuel. That's on your sim brief. Taxi fuel, MD-11's always 2,000. Done them too many times, the heavies. So the 777, the 74, and the MD are 2,000. Trip fuel is en route fuel or trip fuel on your sim brief. Just stick it in there. If you don't, as it says, you will not get a landing weight. Now, some will say, who cares? Well, technically, landing this thing overweight is not a good idea. Any airplane overweight is never a good idea. Never good to fly it overweight, but you could conceivably take off, say, well, let's just say you take off at max gross weight. Pop an engine or two on takeoff. Guess what? You're coming back. Now you need to know your landing weight. So anyway, that's there. Once you have this done, you're not done. This is that quirk right here, TOCG. I know you can't see my cursor, but if you look right below the graph, you'll see TO-CG. For some reason, and this could be real, I don't know, 30 to 31% MAC. That's what it has to be. You can see TOCG up in here. For the freighter, this works out great. Passenger, you're pushing it. And that's why I'm not certain anymore. But I still play along, keep it under 30 to 31%, split the middle, 30.5. Piece of cake. Once you have all of this done, and by the way, to set it there, you use the payload CG, usually moving it to the right. But watch the number. Once you're done here, click Apply Load Configuration to Aircraft and FMC. I'm highlighting it right now. Okay. That will load your aircraft And more importantly, the FMC weight page. Oh yeah, remember that page 2 on the Airbuses? You get your init all put in, you hit the arrow to the right, and poof, you're on the weight page. That's where you're headed. All of those will be populated for you. You don't have to go in and click them all. So that's a huge help right there. Once you're done here, come back to ground, click load aircraft. It's already loaded, we're already ready to go, but here's what's gonna happen. Try and get back to where I was. I kind of like that view. And there it's gonna look, it's gonna give you 4 cans. I hate to tell you this, 106,000 pounds going into a plane, it ain't gonna be just 4 cans. They're gonna have it stretched down there and underneath. So now, one of the other things about this plane that will disappoint you, if you're one of those that like eye candy, I'm not so much, but if you're going to go this far, I'd like to see the cans inside the plane. You'll see them right now. Once that door's down and all the animated pieces away, they go away. So, you know, we can all argue and squibble how good or bad Captain Sim was with FSX, but at least when you loaded the plane with however many cans or whatever, they showed up in the plane. Actually, there's a couple of them they show up in it, but not the rotate, which again, you got to be into the eye candy for that. I kind of like to see them in there, but it's not a priority. You just could have gone a little more, but you know, I don't know what that costs frame rates. So, and you got to think about that guy that doesn't have the Mondo Condo computer that went to the dark side day later when the update came that made that computer obsolete, and now he needs a new one. So, you know, you can't be like, you know, not all of us can be like that. Okay, so far so good. Pretty good animations. That's, like I said, that's about it. I'm going to kind of let you see when it disappears. Okay, now if I go in, just so you all see it, see empty cargo. Little letdown, but, you know, hey, in the overall scheme, hey, as long as it flies, who cares, right? All right, I'm going to go ahead, close up the other side. I never know if they're closing unless I do this. They are, okay. Because I never get what I would think I would see doing that. So, but anyway, so I've already done the fuel. We're ready to go. So let's close the main. See what I mean? It doesn't tell you. And then dismiss the stairs. All right. Now let's get in here, dismiss the ground power. We're on APU. Dismissed. Okay. So all we have left are the chocks. Cool. We're ready to go. Other than that, the checklist that comes with that tutorial, I highly recommend you fly it a couple times. One, you know, with the tutorial, the way the tutorial tells you to load it. Okay, so you get a feel for what you gotta do. Then maybe a flight or two where you tell it what you're gonna fly it with, but follow the procedures. And then you're gonna get into the flow and get this plane. It really, where it gets a little cumbersome is where I think Inuasic one day told us the landing was the hardest thing with it. I don't know. I mean, every time I ever saw it, it looked like a pretty doggone good landing. So, and I figure those commercial pilots will figure something out to make it land good. So, but other than that, that's your biggest things you're going to run into. So I hope, like I said, we're not doing a tutorial on this plane. We're getting ready to blast out of here. Just going to take a quick look here on VATSPY, who's all here. And anyone joining us? Where's that guy going? Nope, he's going to, what is that? Oh, Yucata? Ah, I've heard of that. I don't know where. All right, so let's do it. All right, start the engines. After you've gone through all of that, you got a couple, you know, the checklist is really good. I'll point out some tricky things I had finding. You may go, ah, that's a piece of cake. Yes, because I showed you. Your test for your light bulbs, if you do that, it's the switch right under your windshield anti-ice, a none lit test. That took me forever to find. And I'm trying to think of anything else. The APU can be started here with the APU power switch or up here. Okay. And I think that's all the quirks for that I can off the top of my head remember. The other one is, like I tell you with all aircraft, always close the guards because it takes 2 clicks. And usually those guards are on important switches that if you click them, bad things happen. Like Duluth Fly appears. If you don't close them, Duluth Fly appears. Welcome in, my friend. Welcome in. Hope all is well on the home front there. Prayers going out for you. So welcome in, welcome in. We're getting ready to head to Bogotá or to Costa Rica. Come on, join us. Or are you still roughing it on the beach and not the white sandy beaches of Duluth, snowy beaches, the white sandy beaches of the beaches? No, I have not. I will have to go in and see it. Sunstorm video. Oh, Lord. All right, let's get this beastie fired up. Beacon. All right, let me just make sure I got everything readied here. All right, seatbelts, no smoking beacon, emergency lights. That's what I forgot up there. See, I still use it because I don't fly this a lot. But when I do, I need the help. Doors, windows are closed, but we'll do an exterior check. Call for pushback. We're ready to go. All right, let's take one more look around the plane. Only thing that should be there are the chocks. No doors open on that side or that side. Call in the pushback. And again, if you go into the better pushback, go into preferences, look for it. There's a way to get it closer to your aircraft instead of waiting for it to calm down and get to you. So help speed up things a little bit.
Please show me where you want to go.
I want to go home.
Ground cockpit. Tow is driving up.
See how close it is? Usually it'll come from like way over here. Now I got to get in here and shed the chocks. Of course, always make sure that parking brake is set. I remember the other one, radios.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
Cleared to connect, face us to the west. When you fire up X-Plane, you're going to need to turn the mic. You're going to find you may have the mic, you may not. But you will not have your RXs. So what you do is come in here, turn them up with your mouse. Okay, and then click on them so they're lit. Otherwise, you saw how you see COM 1? You won't, if it's not looking like this, you won't see it down here. Go to Expounder and that'll light your mode C up. And that'll make the controllers very happy that you can actually hear them, and then it's up to you to follow them.
And bypass being inserted. Release parking brake.
Break off.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
Now the checklist at this point calls for a couple things many people are not used to. First off, that transponder. Okay, now they don't have you start it right away. Actually, I need to change my screen to engine. There we go. But we'll come up, we'll select, you know what, we'll use system B for start. You got to use A or B. It's kind of like switching the switches in the 737s and the Airbus. Well, I don't think Airbus we go between them, but the Boeings you go from left and right. So now we're on the B system to start. And when pushback's complete, that's when they say start your engines. It's up to you when you want to start. And I'll be totally honest, I don't know if that sequence 312 is correct, is the only way to do it or not. Personally, I think you could go 1, 2, 3. You know, I don't think that's a huge factor. I know I'm going to get hate mail from the MD-11 pilots out there. Bring it on. I got a lot of questions for you. So, now, remember it said our weather here. Weather's changing. It's changed to where technically we should be going on to 3.2s. Oh well. Scattered 2,000 feet. Look out there. Is that 2,000 feet above the ground? These, the stuff higher up might be, but not off the end of that runway where it drops. Now, maybe they're talking 2,000 feet above that ground. I don't know. But, yeah, that was always something interesting with these, so. Okay.
Operation complete. Set parking brake.
Brakes are set.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
And we're cranking them. Okay, we're on system B. What you do is you start here. Okay, this one's always the tough one. There we go. The throttle's always in the way. But for the most part, and I'm not being critical of X-Plane, not being critical of any of all, I'm just saying all sims, the weather for places like Bogotá, El Alto, airports with much higher
Tower is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. And signal on the right. We'll see you next time and have a safe flight.
Yeah, thanks for the pushback. We'll see you next time. The higher elevation ones, especially above 7,000 feet MSL, they always seem to do this. And I don't know if that's particularly... Oh, I got to do something here. Click. There he is over there. Cool. All right, we're spooling up number 3. Here I am jibber jabbering, and it just winding and winding and winding. When are you going to click? Okay, I think we're done here, so we'll just kind of set it. I like that map. I think I'll keep it there. Okay, I think we're stable. Firing up number 1. Now you can turn them fuel on at the magenta line, or that's not magenta, teal, light blue, however you want to call those colors. Or you can wait to 20. That's usually what I do. Or whenever you feel like it. Like I just did. Then you'll see them lighten up. And you're going to find this plane's a very automated aircraft. You don't have to do much with it other than the setup. Once you're set, you're crystal and you're gold, basically. You're ready to go. So again, Duluth, I hope everything's well. I saw that one post, and hope all is well in the fam. Okay, there we go. All right, with the engines all spooling up, engines start. Okay, give it a couple seconds here. Why did you do this again, phone? There we go. Let's see if it'll hold this time. Okay, engines are spooled up. Let's head up top here. Okay, defog on. Anti-ice not needed. Air panel auto. No need for us to touch it. APU off. We'll try that again. It didn't work last time. We'll see. It usually does. Ground service is there, good and gone. Let's go down here to which one? Config. All right. What are we looking for here on config? Hang on. Back it up. Got to find it. Verify flight controls. All right. So left. Right. All right. We're set, ready to go there. We need to set the trim 4.8. Okay, we're set. And now we go to engine. And I think we're ready to go. Hang on, I'm just going to set it here. Flaps, all right, here we get to have the fun. Time to have some fun with y'all at McDonnell Douglas's expense. Remember, our FMCs are up here, say flaps to 15. Do you see a flaps 15 setting? No, but you see something called dial a flap. 1-800 dial a flap will get your setting. Seriously, that's what first came to mind when I saw that. This is like an infomercial. It takes me aback every time I see it, dial a flap. What this really is, okay. Now, granted, SimBrief keeps things pretty standard, not really pushing, where airline companies will fine-tune that flap setting from anywhere from 5, I think it is, down to 27 or 28. You could physically set this over here, up or down, to whatever flap settings on your dispatch release. They called it at McDonnell Douglas, probably thinking it was kind of neat. Dial a flap. Dial a flap. Call dial a flap. Dial in your... It would have been better if they just said dial in your flap setting. So let's go ahead and set it. Now, I always find that so funny. Now, if you look over here on the PFD, you can see slats went out, and now we're at flaps 15. That's what we wanted for takeoff. All right, let's set our spoilers. Now, this gets tricky. If you get that hand that quick, like I did, man, I'm like, whoa, that's first time that's ever happened. You're set to go with the spoilers. You won't hear when you throttle up spoilers, spoilers, the Star Trek computer saying spoilers. And then set reject. Oop. Be careful. There we go. State trim set, auto brake, takeoff data. You're going to confirm this several times. Each one before takeoff, you're going to confirm. Always keep confirming, making sure nothing changes between what's in the McDo and what's up here. And they are fine. And so are we. Off we go. Uh-oh, dog sees something. Oh. All right, let's get going, shall we? Oh, hang on. There we go. Yeah, the clouds here in Bogotá are always kind of, they're just always kind of weird. So, I also found it usually if I would come into Bogotá every day, some of the perks with FedEx Express Virtual with the, if you get into the category landings, you could build them up quickly here. So we're on our way, though. I'm glad y'all are here. Hope your Monday is going well. Hope your Sunday went as you hoped. And we had a great time, like I said, on that African Union trip. It was a flight I wanted to fly. I really tossed around if I was even going to stream it because how long it is. But I thought, you know what? Why not? So that's why you saw it. It was a fun flight. We're at Port Elizabeth on that flight tour with Millennium, and really was a fun time. Thought I saw someone in here. I guess not. And USIC, welcome in. Welcome aboard. Bogotá, Costa Rica. That's what's on tap today. High altitude departure, when you really boil it down, we're 8,000 feet above sea level. Interesting side note here. The airport that I used to work at, back in the early 2000s, we're talking 4, 5, 6, 7 in that ballpark, took cargo flights from here. Sometime, and it always cracked me up. They'd only be bringing in, I think the heaviest I ever saw on them was 50,000 pounds. I think maybe it was metric. That could have been. I didn't even think about that. But anyway, they would be stopping in Panama to get to where St. Louis is. And I'm sitting there going, that really isn't that far. But, and the funny thing, they'd be flying, well, flowers was the primary, but at certain times of the year, usually spring, spring, winter, springtime, you'll make sense when you hear that where it came from. Corn into Illinois. Corn in Illinois is like second in the country in producing it. So it always makes, what? Why are you getting corn? And when you think about the calendar, it's coming from Chile, Peru, in those areas. So it's their harvest, and this is when the ethanol craze, the corn gas, as I like to call it, was hot and heavy. It's in pretty good production now, but yeah, that's when it was starting up, so they were getting their inventory set. And of course, when that corn stopped, our corn was available for harvest. So always made people double take. Why is Illinois getting corn of all things? It's like saying, why is Iowa getting pigs? Since they're one of the biggest pig states in the U.S. So really, but the thing that just blew me away, they weren't really bringing, I think they had 4 cans on. Seriously, I don't think they carried much. And yeah, it was just amazing. They had to stop in Panama or somewhere in order to get here because the weight restrictions for, I guess, their summer down there. I don't remember it all. It's way too long ago, but just an interesting side note. And the carriers were like Centurion, trying to think the other one, but anyway, yeah, it's just amazing. And then they built that big freezer, basically refrigerator at Miami, and those flights kind of trickled away. Bogotá traffic, FedEx 811 heavy departing 14 right. for a 2,000 foot scattered layer to be on the deck. Always kind of, and I'm not poking fun at X-Plane. I'm poking fun at all of them because all the sims do this with these up there altitude airports. Like I said, I could stay low IFR with the FedEx Express Virtual and get all the way up to sea going in and out of Bogotá. Sorry guys if I gave away a secret. All right, let's hold here for a second, run through our before takeoff just to make sure. All right, we're going to click auto flight. Set. We're going to check the EAD. Should be all good and ready to go. It looks it. Brakes, takeoff, seatbelts, no smoking, all set. Exterior lights set. Hydraulics and air set. Cabins ready. Radar, that's not on. Okay, and terrain. Okay, here we go. All right, so brakes off. Okay, airspeed's alive. 80 knots. Here comes V1. Rotate. And now the RNAV brings you a little further out, but tight, pretty tight in to here. Now this departure requires us to maintain 190 knots until, I'm sorry, 205 knots until we get to the completion of the turn. Okay, we're going down. Why are we going down? Wow. Little tricky plane here. You got to kind of work with a little bit. Okay, now let's see how easy those spoilers will go down. Okay, we've reached all of our constraints. We're on our way. All right, give you a little flavor. Wow, we should have taken 3-2 almost. Wow. Let me bring this in here real quick, show you what we did. Okay, so we took off here. Again, maximum 205 until turns complete, and now we got to get above 14 and then above 18 and so forth. We're on the outer edge here. We didn't take the 4R, and we're on our way up. Okay, for a second there I thought we were, and I'm like, I put in the 1S. So, all right. So anyway, there's our departure. Now, once we get up here to 450, there's Tobiki above 19. Above 25 is our goal by VASIL. And then we're pretty much on course. So, hope y'all enjoyed that little precarious departure. And thanks again for being a part of Flying with Mike. We sure appreciate y'all. Again, the Beastie. Hopefully not too loud on you. Welcome to the Andes. I think Bogotá is off our left wing there in those kind of weird looking clouds. But yeah, this is some great flying if you ever want to do it. Bogotá is not hard, real easy. I think all of the major airports are pretty decent, unless you want to go to a place like Pesto, then you're gonna potentially run up against a pretty difficult approach, but it's actually still kind of fun. So, but there we are in the Andes. I had to get the screenshot. See if I got a pretty good one over here. So glad to have you all aboard, and thanks for being here, taking some of your Monday. We sure appreciate it. Just getting some screenshots of that departure, and pretty fun times. You're going to find most of the approach departures in Colombia are not really that hard. They can get there, but really, Bogotá, I think, is really the only one where you tuck in with the mountains like we did we could have up in Kathmandu. Pesto, on the other way, while it does have a straight in, ILS, a lot of times you got to work that RNAV around the mountains to get in. So it is a fun, somewhat shorter runway, not overly too bad, but it's a nice little challenge. And but yeah, for the most part, these are fun airports to get into at high altitude, and I enjoy up here. I just don't do it enough. El Alto's even easier, and the scenery is just spectacular. We're up to Tobkai. I think that's how you say that. Tobkai. And now we're direct VASIL. And then from VASIL, we're on course. Now, one critique I do have of the MD-11, and I'm not sure it's a rotate issue or a... Hang on a second. Let's set that there. Weather's on. Set that one up a little. And I don't like that I can't see this here. Why not? Oh well. I know there's still a lot of things not working on it. But if you get a problem, how do you know? And what, you know, like Airbus will tell you what it is to some extent. Boeing kind of, sort of, maybe. Unless maybe these ECAMs can show it. I don't know. So that's my only thing I've always run into with this plane trying to figure out. All right, so after takeoff, spoiler handles down, auto brake. Oh, we could do that right now. Okay, auto brakes off. Flaps and slats are up. Yep. And hydraulic auto, fuel panel auto, EAD checked. Only thing on seatbelts. They'll go off at top of cruise. And exterior lights are already off. We should. Are we through 18? Oh, well through it. And we've gone through transitions, so we're into cruise. Okay, I lied. The lights were still on. I thought I turned them off. I think I reached for them, but never did anything. So enjoy the ride. Hope you enjoy. I've got about an hour or so to get over there, and then we'll see what kind of approach is waiting for us, since things changed as we taxied. Hopefully, we might get that up. Nope, we're reaching top of climb. I do love that cloud right there, that half circle. Wonder if that's supposed to be a moon. All right, we're in cruise. Let's put that seatbelt sign off. On our way. Costa Rica is where we're headed. And I do know we do have a pilot that likes to fly Costa Rica, mostly MRLB, which is the other airport there. And that's got some fun approaches with it, so. But we're on our way. So today in the States is the day we celebrate all the presidents of the United States birthdays. You know, government workers, you ought to throw a tissy fit. That's 40 days you could have had, 42 days you could have had off, had you chosen to take each President's Day off. I mean, no work ever gets done anyway, so what's the difference? Instead of wrapping them up into one, you know, we could have done all 42 of them and celebrate them. Yeah, a little stirring there. But we're in cruise. But yeah, that's what today is in the States. So if you're trying to figure out why nothing's going on in the government, that's why. Be right back. Someone's at our door. I bet you could have never guessed we had a delivery with that announcement from our dog. If it even got across, I don't know. All right, well, enjoy the flight, folks. I'll sit back here and let you all enjoy. We've got about, an hour, 14 minutes to go. And we'll be over in the tropical Costa Rica. All right, we're back with you. We got about 51 minutes. Welcome in to Flying with Mike. Little quick aside about myself. Been doing this flight sim thing since about 1998-99 time frame. Started with Microsoft's 98 or 2000 flight sim, and I've gone through them all, minus the two new ones, 2020 and 2024. During that 13 years, my computer, one of two or three, went out, and in 2020, the new computer, I had XP12 put on, and I'm not going back. Plus, at the time when I got this, August of 2020, the other sim was out, and the videos I was seeing, I just couldn't see sinking any money into it. And that helped make my decision to try 11. And I'm glad I did, because I've stuck with it. I'm in X-Plane 12 today. Flying the MD-11 rotate. They just introduced a passenger version not too long ago, a couple months ago. You know, it's hard to find. Remember who and where those routes flew. And so that's why you haven't seen a lot of passenger runs. But anyway, we're right now flying for FedEx Express Virtual. Now, this group I've been with for quite a while. I want to say since they started, but I know that's not true, but pretty close. They're a great bunch of people. Really, check them out there at FedEx FDX. Oh, excuse me, hiccups. FDXVA.org. Really good bunch of people. Great software for you to use. A great website for bidding on flights. And it's kept simple. That's what I've liked about it. They even have substitutions for some of their fleet that just may not be available out there. For instance, the original FedEx airplane, the Falcon. That Falcon is not available. The Falcon Hawker 125, if he was around, would give us the exact, probably the exact serial numbers, but at least the models. So, yeah, those aren't even available. So, at least that I know of. And believe me, he'd jump on them if they were. So check them out there. Again, it's Fox Delta X-Ray Victor Alpha FDXVA.org. And as long as you know how to fly, and you don't even have to fly on VATSIM. Like many VAs, it's one of those things they ask that you do, but it's never required. There are a couple that I fly with that do require it, but for other reasons. So, but yeah, I've been around in this for quite a while. I've got quite a huge amount of hours flown. Sometimes I wish I was paid here by the hour I flew. Yeah, things would be a lot different. So, but anyway, hey, and it can all be verified, by the way, on VATSIM. So I do 95% of all my flights on VATSIM. So now X-Plane 12 has brought out that great ATC that you don't have to be online with. That is phenomenal. So really, they have really been pouring it on here in X-Plane 12. So looking for the next big thing coming down. Many of us know about, just wonder when will we get to try it out, get to see it, get to, for me, learn it, which is how to use the radars the way they're saying we'll be able to. So I can't wait for that. So But again, a great bunch of people there at FedEx Express. Hope you give them a try. You know, read through it. Always make sure you understand what you're getting into. They are not sticklers that you have to fly the Caravan to start with, then the ATR, or what is it called now, Sky Courier or something like that, the new airplane in the fleet. And then you can fly 757 or 727. No, you can fly them all from day one. Great fleet. I mean, FedEx has always had a great fleet. They got a great retro fleet included with the what you can fly. So check it out. It is a very, it's like Mac Air. It's very, I'm not going to use the word laid back, but yet it really is. There aren't many rules other than you got to fly a flight a month. You know, that's just about everywhere. Other than that, it's a great bunch of people, and give it a try. You just might try it, Mikey. You might like it. Blast from the past. All right, so we got just a little under 45 minutes to go. So let's start seeing how this is going to transpire over here. Oh, as I indicated, a runway change could happen. Looking at these numbers right now, don't see it. Good. We'll come in on the 7s, but I was kind of hoping maybe we might get the 2.5s. Well, we're still 40 minutes out, so we'll see. But the forecasting was that the winds were going to shift out of the west, which would make us ideal for the 2.5. But winds are 110 at 15 currently. I'd pull them up on FMCs here, but rotate is just very basic FMC work here. You don't get a whole lot with it. Let me give me a second here. Yeah, it looks like we get a lot, but we really don't. And you know, I wish they would, but you know, until we make the sims, it'll be how it is. All right, bringing charts in real quick here. All right, so here's the weather over here. It's about just about ready to be updated. It's 56 minutes old. Winds are out of at 56 minutes ago, 110 at 15. If it stays like that, we're good. If it doesn't, we may have to do a quick change on the fly here to get the approach set up. As you can see, we started 1.4s in Bogotá. Now they're 3.2s probably. So, welcome to how weather can be. Today, little hints of sun. Tomorrow, a lot of hints of snow. Yeah, we're under the gun for another winter storm tomorrow. So we'll see what that yields here in St. Louis. All right, we'll just let y'all listen away to the music and the aircraft as we cruise on to Costa Rica. Oh boy, 108 miles out. And I'll be right back. All right, sorry about that. Needed to fill up my coffee and be ready for the arrival. Speaking of which, all right, we started down this road, never got all the way down it. Okay, looks like we're coming in on the 7s. Winds are 090 at 11, 17 minutes ago. And really, beautiful day there in Costa Rica. All right, so let's take a look at it, shall we? All right, so the approach goes like this. We'll come in at ISEBA, OC303, Kari, and then follow it on in. Now, if we were going for 25, there's actually a run right off. I think it's Tobik or Akopu, one of the two. And we just run up right along these 12,000 foot mountains and turn in. But today we're heading out to Turu, and then we'll loop in for the runway. Transition 20,000 feet. All right, real quick, 109.5, we'll double check as we come in. Course is 71 degrees and 5,000 feet at Mavic. Okay, airport sits 3,000 feet above sea level, believe it or not. And we'll get to our minimums. There's our missed approach out to Turu, and then we shoot the approach again. Okay, pretty simple. We'll come in from Turu at 10,000 feet to 10, slowing to 8,000 feet at Matos Carba at 6,000 and Mavic 5,000, and then on into the runway. Mauser and Pappies on, we got a Mauser approach, Pappies on the left. And for us today, we're looking at 224 on the minimums. And, oops, sorry about that. Altitude was, so everything's got to be above 224 feet AGL or 3,164 MSL. And we also need at least 550 feet or meters for the approach. Once on the ground, we're going to be basically taxiing. I believe we park in here. Hang on a second. C. So we'll probably do C1 or C2. All right, so we'll see how that transpires once we get there. All right, ISEBA is in the way, and right at it is where we start our descent. And real quick, need to be down between 16 and 26,000 by Kiwari, and then 10,000 by Peru. Okay, so let's get in here, figure out our speeds. Okay, we're going to come in at 151 or so, land, or hopefully touch down around 145, 146, flaps 35. We're going to go, I think we can do brakes medium on this. Yeah, I think so. When in doubt, just go to sim brief. Landing performance, calculate, and we're coming the other way. Yeah, they got us 149. They're saying manual braking. We'll do brakes 3 or medium. So, all right, so here we go. First thing I'm gonna do is set 16,000. All right, let's get into this. Time for the descent. There we go, starting the descent. Got about 12 to 15 minutes into Costa Rica. Hope you all have enjoyed the ride. It's been a great flight. So let's see how we can do getting this in here. You'll find even with spoilers armed, you can still get them out if you need them. Let me take a look. We're getting kind of fast here in my book. Let's see what the approach says. No, we don't start slowing to OKOPU, which again is the initial approach fix for runway 25. Okay, we're at 20,000. Ooh, Wait a minute, something's going on here. Ooh, someone's up with VATSIM. Hang on. Ground, okay. Okay, and what is it? 2997. Okay. All right, we are maneuvering now on the star, so we'll work our way in. Okay, we're at Tobic, sorry, and then we can descend for 12,000 after here. And I think I'm just going to go ahead and let it go all the way down to 10,000. All right, we're starting down for 10,000 now. Looks like we'll be right on schedule. See how NavRad looks. You know what? I'm going to go ahead, punch it in there. All right, we got her dialed in, ready to go. A lot of high terrain in this part of Costa Rica, so that's why I was a little concerned we were below the altitudes they wanted us to be above. But I think we're going to be okay so long as we stay above 10,000. But just giving you the idea, we're basically, I think, off the panel over there. That's the valley we're headed for, I think. Like I said, it's a fun run, but today the winds are just so conducive for the other way. I'm going to go ahead and hit decrease. Okay. All right, I'm going to go ahead. All right, so here we go. Hard to believe that's 5,000 feet out there. Very hard to believe. Unless we're kicking into here. Okay, that got a little nervous. All right, once we pass Turu, we'll be all right, we should be getting a localizer here. Six miles. Oh, we're 21 miles out. What? 16 miles out. Okay. Okay, localizer. Okay, here we go. Think we're on glide slope. Yeah, San Jose traffic. FedEx 811 heavy, approximately 10 miles out on the 07 ILS inbound. Still don't have a full eyeball on this. Now I do. Okay, now I know where to look. Let's go flaps 28. Spoilers arm, brake set, gear down, flaps full. All right. And San Jose traffic 3-mile final 407. Landing.
Glide slope. Glide slope. Glide.
San Jose ground, FedEx 811's off runway 7 at Delta to cargo. All right, welcome in. Let's see how the EPU's doing. Go to bleed. Just want to make sure. I know I got to set the trim to 3. Stave trim auto brake I think is off, but nope, it's not. Weather radar auto brake exterior lights, APU 8 did that after landing. Okay, we're set. APU's running. Clear. Okay, I think we can shut her down. All right, I hope you enjoyed. That was a pretty good run. Actually, a really fun run. I don't know the landing yet. We'll get to that in a moment. All right, let's just finish all of this up after landing. Okay, transponder to 0. All right, okay. Exterior lights, IRS. Okay, so we can turn the beacon off. All right, we're in the blocks. All right, let's one more time come over here now. Get on the ground power cockpit and there. There you have it, folks. We're in Costa Rica. So you can kind of see out there, you're just basically flying in front of those mountains to come in on 2.5. It's really a fun approach. Give it a try. All right, so we'll click that and that. And let's see how we've done. Oh, wow. "93 feet a minute." I'll take it. It felt pretty good. That one actually really did feel pretty good. Oh, we got TACA here. TACA. Where are they off to, out of curiosity? Oh, now Colombia comes up. No flight plan yet. All right, so let's bring in Elevatech first. Actually, you know what? Let me see. All right, let's try the right thing I'm trying to do. All right, here's FedEx Express Virtual. A really simple system. All you do is go to the website, hit book your flight. Basically, all that is go to routes, select whatever flight, select the airplane, and you're booked. Come over here, fire this up. Once you're comfortable with numbers and all, hit start, dispatch. All that's going to do is just give it your route and all that you plan, and you're ready to go. Finish, hit stop, and you're ready to go, which we've already done. So really, really simple stuff. And like I said, I've been here a long time, up 5, 6, 7 years. So pretty close to when they started. Where's this one going? Nope. All right, so let's get Elevatech in here. Let's start using our tools here. Elevatech, I am a alpha tester for. You can see the routing in, and they've got good numbers. Wow. Like I said, that even though I got a little low, but that flattened out approach really made it, I think, shine. 89 feet a minute at 154. Little teeny weeny fast. 1G. We'll take it. We'll take it. All right, let's see how hard Sim Toolkit's going to hit us. Oh, wow. They got us. I mean, I don't know if you caught that before it went out. Yeah, I'll just do it this way. 77 feet a minute. Wow. There you go, Hawker. Your number was just hit. All right, 2-hour flight, 600 miles, almost 700, 13,500 gallons of go-go juice. 1.1 G at 77 feet a minute, 154 feet, or 154 knots. Wow. Now, for me, where did I actually touch down? To me, that's as important as the numbers. Well, first off, we are at the visual point we want to land at. 22 feet, though, off that center line. That's... Yeah, I wish I was a little further to the right, but... Wow, that is a really good land. Now, on the sim, those marks would have been behind us, but that was a really good landing. Oh, numbers and everything showed it. So, all right, well, boy, I wasn't expecting to get done this quick. Wow. Well, I am going to go ahead and plan on backing out of here. And, man, I really didn't think we'd get done this quick. So, since I don't have another flight in the bag for Monday, we'll go ahead and call it. I hope you all had a wonderful time, and hope you enjoyed. Hope if there's anything at all that really I want to come out of my flights, I hope something, you know, you learned something helped you along the way, something just kind of helped boosted spirits on this Monday. It's winter time up here in the northern hemisphere, and sometimes that lack of sunshine and all said, you know, just makes it so dreary. But you know, there's one thing you can always count on, and that is a verse of the day here, and it's always usually gonna speak to your heart. Today's is no exception. Coming out of John chapter 8, verse 12. So this is one of the apostles with Jesus as he walked. Well, granted, written after Jesus' crucifixion, but it's one of those apostles. Jesus spoke to the people once more and said, "I am the light of the world. If you follow me, you won't have to walk in darkness." because you will have the light that leads to life. You know, short-term problem may not help a lot when you see a verse like this, because what Jesus is talking about, he is the light to eternity. John was the one that penned probably one of the most famous verses out there. For God so loved the world that he gave his only son, that whoever believes in his son shall have everlasting life. Continuing that theme 4 chapters later in his Gospel of Jesus. You won't have to walk in darkness. Jesus will light the way for you. We talked about it yesterday. You gotta have faith. You know, things may look down, things may look gloomy right now. Trust me, I know that firsthand. And trusting in God can be it can be sometimes stressful in itself, because we don't know if God is moving, but yet we do have faith that he is. And that is so hard sometimes, that back and forth. And oh, I get it. But you know, we know the end. And if we believe in Christ, if we believe in Jesus, if we profess it, we live it, we will see the goal at the end. So I hope in some way, somehow, that helps. Just remember, it takes faith, folks. And believe it or not, I can hear I have none of that faith stuff. Yeah? Are you sitting in a chair? Said this yesterday. Are you sitting in a chair? You putting a lot of faith that that chair, no offense, will hold you. That's a lot of faith right there, folks. That chair you're sitting in will actually hold you. If you don't believe me and you want a good laugh, watch a movie Mel Gibson was in called The Patriot. Just gotta watch the first couple get past the credits. Boom. Just watch it to there. I don't recommend much more of it, but you'll get what I mean. And keep the faith, and you will have that light that will lead to everlasting life. Hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. God bless you all. We'll see you tomorrow out at John Wayne Airport. See you then.